All right, what up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Breeze Talk. Today we have special guest, CEO of Breezeshare, Mr. Blaise Alexander Telemark. But before we get started, let me introduce my co-host. Again, we have Mr. J. Clay,
What's up, y'all? Let's get it.
and then we have Miss Janae Jasmine.
Thank you so much. I'm proud to be here.
All right, so Breeze, we're gonna just kind of like step right into it. So, first off, besides being frat brothers and have known each other for almost what 6, 7 years, um, I remember last time we even did anything with music, you were at the crib and you were writing. So before we really get started into what Breezeshare is about, I wanted to know, like, based off of that, like, you have any projects going? Are you still writing music? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Before we kick it off.
So I mean, I don't really be making music like that no more. I had, when I was with you that day, I was just, thinking of something, trying to feel something out. But, I don't really write and actively create music no more. I thought about it, but I don't know. It's just it's like another thing to take on, you feel me? So it's like I just haven't really, hopped in the lab and started doing nothing with no music. But I used to, you feel me, before I got involved in other things.
Okay, I mean that's much appreciated because even when you're not actively doing it now, it's you've definitely built a platform that are for music creators like myself. As you spoke to the point of like your friends when you guys used to create music and get in the locality. So I'm gonna let John like kind of take it from here.
What's good, Blaze? How you doing, bro?
I don't know.
All right, so I want to start with sort of like a broad question. So, like when I was a kid, I used to have like millions of ideas for companies. I feel like most people did, like when you're in the shower or something. But mine was really more just like bad inventions that I thought of when I was younger. And so my question for you is like when you were younger, like did you ever see yourself starting your own business? And if so, like what type of ideas did you have when you were younger?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I always saw myself, like you said, starting a business or well, really, it wasn't even more so starting a business. It was like I always saw myself doing something that would have like a big influence on, whether it be the world or my area or the country or the industry I'm in. Like I always saw myself coming into something and making a big wave with it. So um, in the past, like I had other ideas. Like the first, like I would say, business that I started, um, well, that I was involved in was in high school. I would say maybe like I was like 15 years old. Me and my friends, we used to do like tie dye Nike socks.
Mm.
So we would get Nike socks, dye them, and then like we had like the whole school decked out in our socks, like all the athletes, I'm saying, football games, before like big track meets, night before, people be hitting me like, yo, bro, I need some socks. I need the black and yellow Johns, whatever. So we were just hustling making the socks. And this is like, we ain't had no cars, no nothing. So we just had to, you feel me, get rides to like Sears, and we used to try to cop the socks. Like they used to be buy one get one free. So whenever they had the sale, we used to try to go crazy on the sale. And then so we used to do like for one pair of socks it was $7, two pairs it was $15, and then we had the 3 for 20. You feel me? Of course, most people got the 3 for 20 joints. So
Yeah.
we was doing it like that, and so we made some video. I
Mm.
wasn't in the video, but my friends made the video for the socks, and it was just like them in the backyard showing like some of the socks we had made, and it's like from like 8 years ago, and that joint got like 148K views on YouTube right now.
What y'all doing? Man, we trying to make our new business. Tie-dye Nike socks, elites, whatever. We trying, we trying to just make this business. We got the
That was
watermelon.
like my first little entrepreneurial wave. Um, and then other than that, like I ain't really like try to do anything else, like start a business. I'll have like, a couple like hustles, trying to make some
Yeah.
bread on the side type stuff. But like as far as like an actual like legit business, I didn't have no ideas for a little bit until I got to college. And then first thing I tried to do was I tried to start uh, like a club review type of thing called Nightlife Review magazine.
Uh-huh.
So I tried to do that for a little bit. Like basically, I wanted to do like a Yelp for clubs, and I had started out with that, Instagram page, website, and stuff like that. Like I
Mm,
paid, like I got like a developer pay like 4 bands to get a website created, and then
dang.
like I was just moving so quick that like by the time I already had dished out all the money, I realized I'm like, bro, I don't even have a real plan for this business. You feel me? I don't even have a plan. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
like, I was just trying to get in clubs for free to review them.
Exactly. 'Cause I was
Facts.
thinking of it like on some movie type stuff, like like people be like, "Oh yeah, we having a big night at this club," and then I got my little staff pull up, and then be in the newspaper the next day, like review on this club, blah blah, to like give different clubs like status and promotions and stuff like that for basically people to find out about it. But I realized that I didn't even really have like I didn't have a passion for that idea, so I just essentially I never even put the website up. Like I literally spent like I said, like $4,000 to get the
uh,
website created, but I never even launched it. I just was like, I was just like on some. I was like, it's a sunk cost. You feel me? I was just like, it's done up for that idea. But then after that, I tried to start something called
Chris, can
School
you mute
Pool.
real quick? I think it's
Yeah.
like feedback coming through a little bit. You good, Double A's. Keep going.
Yeah, so then after that, I tried to start something called School Pool, where essentially it was like an online database for like colleges. And
Uh-huh.
for example, like we all went to UT besides Janae. So like if someone were to be like, I want calculus for business with this professor, and then people will have like their School Pool account, and then the past students would say information about the class, like past assignments, stuff like that, like assignments that they did, tests or whatever. Kind of like how on Quizlet you can find different stuff for various classes. So I wanted it to be School Pool, but essentially we was like tied in with the campuses, like we
Yeah.
official with the campuses, so like somebody can search stuff up for another class, or they can get help with stuff that they were doing on in the class from like people that had the professor in the past. So kind of like every school having like their own page and directories for each
Yeah.
teacher, class, etc., etc. What's that other site? Oh, Rate My Professor is like
Yeah.
yeah. So basically like a souped up Rate My Professor. You feel me?
Okay.
So I tried to do the School Pool idea, and then I was working on it for a little while. Came up with some plans, business plans, all that, revenue models, and then I just realized that that wasn't really something I wanted to do. So
Yeah.
I didn't really have like the passion for it, So I just kind of stopped with that idea as well.
Yeah.
So like literally, bro, I have like a Google Drive of like 10 different business ideas that I try to
For
do, that I like write details with like all of them, and then I'll just be like, damn, this isn't what I want to do.
real. Yeah.
So, fast forward to graduating college. Work, I'm a security analyst, and I utilize a program at my job called Splunk, which is a security incident and event
Mm,
monitor. So essentially, you can use that program in order to collect data from like a whole bunch of different log sources in your environment, and like it puts it in like graphics so you can see like, hey, we're getting this much data from this place, or somebody just tried to hack into this server, or whatever the case is. So for my job, I had got really heavily involved in Splunk. I'll say like March 2019, and my job was to essentially set up the infrastructure for Splunk. So I had to make sure we had all the right machines and servers and whatever network devices we want. I had to make sure all that data was reported to Splunk and were in panels and organized and in the format so people can read the data and interpret it. So that was like the first thing that kind of like the Breezeshare. It was like two separate things that brought me to Breezeshare. So I was like doing that, and I was just seeing that it was like so crazy how I was able to like collect all this data. Like I was ingesting like hundreds of gigabytes of data a day into Splunk from like all these different data sources. So I was just getting curious on how the data was traveling, and how the data was able to transfer from the original source to the forwarder, which is a server that we have sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the forwarder then sends that information to the respective sources that we need it to be. So I was wondering, I'm like, okay, like I'm sending this log data. This is a way, this is something that's going on. People send data in milliseconds, hundreds of gigabytes of data in milliseconds, different places in the world. So that was something that was in the back of my mind, but I didn't really get to the idea yet. So then, you know, I'm like in the crib, and I start playing Call of Duty Warzone or Modern Warfare 2. Sorry, yeah, Modern
Oh
Warfare.
yeah.
So then, I'm playing Modern Warfare 2, and like I really wasn't into video games until like after college. So I'm like, damn, bro, like I've been missing out because I had like I used to play one player games after I graduated. That was like how I
Yeah.
first started for the first year. I'll play the one player games. But then I got introduced to the multiplayer genres like Call of Duty and stuff. And I'm like playing with my mans. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, blah,
Yeah.
blah. We like in the game, and I'm like seeing him over there. We shooting at the same op or whatever. So I'm like, so then it kind of like everything kind of came full circle. So I'm thinking, all right, so the technology is already out here for me to be in a video game and I could play a video game with multiple people, and we can be in the same instance of that video game,
Mm-hmm.
and we can move fluidly and communicate, and I'm on the headset with them, and we're just playing together. Everything is chilling, and this is something that's people been doing for years. And on top of that, I was thinking about how with Splunk, how the data was able to go back and forth so quickly, how people are sending information here, there, and all these different devices just communicating. So being somebody that has an interest in music, I was thinking like if we're able to do this with video games, and if I'm able to send text files and different scripts back and forth over the computer, like why couldn't there be a platform for us to do what we're doing now on this video game, but with music? Like why can't we just all hop in a session, a virtual session, and create music together? Because I can go ahead and start a Call of Duty game with my friends, and it works. We're able to play,
Yeah.
and it's fluid, and we're able to complete the game, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's able to have fun. So there's collaboration platforms out there for business meetings like we're on now. There's collaboration platforms out there for video games, you know, collaboration platforms out there for mostly business oriented things, keeping track of stuff, getting things done. But us music creators, people are just still having to, I got to fly out to Cali to go, hop in the studio with this guy,
Yeah.
or I got to go fly to Atlanta, say I'll follow artists on social media, and I'm seeing them in all these different spots. And I know that's an expense. You feel me? They want to go to stay at the Ritz-Carlton. They label paying for that. They want to fly first class. They label paying for that. Studio time, label paying for that. And people being late, you got to count for being late as well. A lot of artists, don't have a lot of discipline, as far as things goes. So people be feeling like time is on their side, and I'm the star, so you're gonna wait on me. But in reality, they might not see it, but they label is paying for that. You feel me? So it's a lot that goes into having to go and collaborate with different artists and stuff like that. So seeing that, and also seeing different producers going on Instagram Live and just having their phone sitting up at the ceiling while they play beats for their fans to hear, and there being tens of thousands of people that are still viewing that, even though the phone is just looking at the ceiling and the music sounds terrible, people are still viewing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, we could put these things together and find a way to make this better. So that's really how I got to the idea of Breezeshare.
Yeah. So it sounds like for the socks, I feel like you pulled like different things from each. Like even though the sock thing maybe might seem like a minuscule part of your life, but like I feel like you pulled maybe like the importance of like having a strong team. Like you pulled from there. I took some notes. So like from the socks you need a strong team. Then like nightlife, don't necessarily have the motivation or like passion to pursue that business, even though you put the $4,000 in it. It's like do I really want to do this? Like once you got there, and then for school pool, it seems like really practical and seem like it could be successful, but like, do you really have a passion for doing that?
Exactly.
So that being said, like, what makes like your approach to Breezeshare like different?
Well, so with Breezeshare, I would say definitely having those past experiences helped a lot just to
Mhm.
realize, what to be prepared for, even though it's just on
Yeah,
a lot smaller scale.
yeah,
It's still kind of like the same things. And I would say the main difference with Breezeshare versus the other stuff I tried to start was with Breezeshare, I actually had like I had like an end goal in mind of what
mm,
Breezeshare could be, and whereas the other
yeah,
ones, I didn't have an end goal. It was just, I was able to start and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, how could this work or whatever? But with Breezeshare, it's so simple because I could just be like, end goal, Breezeshare, huge social media platform where music artists are collaborating and people are creating songs online. And
yeah,
just by me being able to have like an angle of what the platform
yeah,
would be, it made it a lot easier to work on it because the other ones, it was just like, am I doing this because I want to, or am I doing this because I want to start a business? You feel me?
yeah. Like
So
they were just like a hustle. This is like something that you see like how it could really pan out in the real world. And you probably
exactly,
have passion for it too, just because you love music, you love collaborating with artists and stuff like that. So that makes sense.
exactly. And the pandemic starting not too long after we found the breed share definitely helped some validation on the idea because
Yeah,
who would have known that everybody would be remote.
yeah.
Well, I didn't know that. I was just trying to figure
I
out.
didn't know it
We
either.
could do this remote. Like that would be cool, but I didn't think that 6 months later the whole country would be shut down. And then it got me thinking. I'm like, damn, I would have started this in college
Yeah.
because we could have been in market going crazy right now.
Oh yeah, for real. Ready to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Um.
A lot of
Anyway,
what you said. Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead, Janae.
Oh,
No,
okay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. A lot of what I noticed that you said, you kept going back to the word passionate. So when you were talking about it, I felt like you were. I mean, obviously you are really passionate about it, but like, do you think, like especially like working with a startup, like it's really more so like how important is it to have a passion for something? Because like it's not like a job, you know what I'm saying? So like, how has your passion driven your like goals and everything forward with this company with Breezeshare?
So the passion allows me to keep going. Like it I love music and I listen. I'm like that type of person. I'm listening to music all day, all the time. You feel me? If I'm like doing anything, I'm most likely listening to music while I'm doing it. So it's like being able to provide something for a community that I just love and I like adore so much that I just think it would be amazing because we got so many people out here that are there's so many artists, we got so many producers and stuff like that. And then, people are creating music, but I feel like a lot of things and platforms and new technologies that come out aren't really coming out to help support that community, whereas they want to take advantage of it. You feel me? So
Yeah.
like most of the stuff that are focusing towards music community have to do with streams, companies wanting to get money off of streams, you know, providing an incentive to help people get their music out there and stuff. But as far as the actual creation process, besides, digital audio workstations where you actually create the music, what other programs are out there that are helping the creation process of, music of like what we're doing? It's not really much out there. Most of them are focused towards actually the DAW itself or like sounds, plugins, etc. But working together, there's you know not really something that is out there that is like really dominating the market.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. You definitely have a point. All right, so when you look at like platforms like Landar or Sounds and stuff like that, it's like they created like a digital audio workstation. I remember when before FL Studio, when it was Fruity Loops. One thing is that people, I don't know if these companies have this in mind, but as speaking as a producer myself, like producers are very much so privy to like their own type of tools, like their own pretty much their digital audio workstation. Like some people still have like Fruity Loops like 10.1 whatever and haven't upgraded just because they're like very much so specific to that. And so with Breezeshare, being able to actually share your screen in like real time and like actually like you said, not having to make out the sound through like Instagram Live or Facebook Live is like very much so imperative, because the other part is, Facebook Live, Instagram Live doesn't allow me to share like my digital audio workstation or share my screen beyond like what you can see, me doing actually. But the other part is like being able to screen share and like have someone else take over like, what I'm doing and say, hey, you know what, Chris, this sounds really good, but what if you put a hi hat right here, and they can actively being able to do that. Like that's very much so important. So one thing I think that very much so separates BREEZEshare is that you didn't recreate the process of me having to relearn a new digital audio workstation, but I can still use the same one I prefer, and be able to share screens at the same time. So I think that's very much so important that this company's captured.
Yeah, for sure. I was just gonna ask. This is like sort of a light question. I know we've been going sort of in depth, but I was just gonna say, what's your favorite type of music? Like
I want to say the
favorite
same thing.
genre? I bet we both want to know favorite genre, artist. What you got on replay in 2021? Just like you be listening to old stuff, new stuff, or you can
I'll
pull
say
up your phone if you need to check.
my favorite artist. I mean, my favorite genre is definitely hip hop slash rap. Um, I'm starting to like some electronic music, but not like the super like EDM ones, but like the more like the ones that's like a vibe type joint, like not the ones that's cranking super
Like
hard.
lo-fi.
Yeah, lo-fi.
I
That's what
guess
I'm about to
it
say,
might be
lo-fi.
lo-fi. Like I feel like a good example. This might be like a cliche song, but a good
Okay.
example of one might be the song. You know that song, "My Love," like "My Love." Now
Chris
you
knows
know
it.
that song.
I probably know it. I'm not good at recognizing.
That's crazy. But you wanna know why I like it though? Because Thug and Lil Key, they had sampled it. And then I was like liking the sample OD, so I went and listened to the original song. But I was
Yeah.
like, this joint is cranking. So yeah, I like hip hop rap, I like some electronic. I would say right now, what I've been listening to most lately is I'll say Rilo Rodriguez. He got this tape. Um, what's the tape? I think the tape is called Goat in Human Form. He's a little baby artist. I don't
Okay.
know if you ever heard that song Walk with Lil Baby on it, like Dior Walk. That's Rilo, yeah. So
Okay.
that's like his single, but like his actual tape really goes crazy. Like I've been bumping that joint. Like I probably listen to the whole album like twice a day for like the past like 2 months.
I need to peep it
Oh
then.
my God, that's
Who
just
does he sound like if you compare him to someone that's out right
you ever
now?
heard of No Cap? No
Have
Cap.
I?
He
No.
they both from Alabama. He's Alabama.
Okay.
But he like it seemed like Mobile, Alabama, they creating a new little wave. I seen a lot of artists popping out of Alabama. And even
Okay.
Chris Mario Cummins, he been posting that a lot, like in the past like 4 or 5 months, like yo, Alabama next, Alabama next. Right? They
Yo,
got
I mean,
right
you
now.
know, Alabama. We like to say Alabama, and Mississippi, the Twin States, baby. Like, I mean, that's where some of the best music come from, the South.
Man, we
Why you
need
look like that,
Mississippi to
Janae?
come up next.
I was about to say Janae just she
Yeah.
roll her eyes, bro. She
Y'all
said,
know y'all
"Oh
like that
God, here we
country
go."
sound. Don't do
Here
that.
you go. You always think like why? Okay, I'm not gonna say that's not my business.
I feel like it's important to know my favorite artist is Thug, so everybody got to know that. That's my favorite
Did
artist.
you listen to him and Juice's new song, "Bad Boy"? It came
Man,
out like 2 days ago.
that joint is OD, bro.
Yeah.
I listened to that joint like maybe like 30 times since it dropped. I watched the
That's
video
tough.
like 15 times. The video hard.
I haven't seen the video, bro.
The video
About
is hard. It
Juice.
is.
Do
It
you
is.
do you feel this like I don't know? When I listen to him, obviously he's past RIP, but like, do you like it? Like feels like surreal to me. I feel like I appreciate like his voice now, like on his new song, because it's just like it's like a different feeling. Like someone's
Exactly.
passed, but then you're hearing like music that just released from them that they like pre-recorded. It's
Bro,
just like surreal to me almost.
it's gonna feel even more surreal when you watch the video, bro. Cause he actually
For
in the
real.
video, like, you know what I'm saying? They done
Yeah,
shot the
that's gonna be
video
really
really fast.
weird.
So yeah, it was hard. So yeah, I be bumping a lot of. For me, like I'll listen to like the same project for OD long. Like that's just how I am. Like if I find a project I like, I'll just bump it crazy, and I'll just be ignoring everything else until I'm ready to listen to another project.
That's how I'm in, bro. And I like, because I don't know what you have. I have Apple Music, but I'll just like have an album. If I like it, then that's just like every time I play music, I just click on that album and hit shuffle. And then I'm
Exactly.
like, bro, I've been listening to this album for 4 months. Like, I know I missed OD music
Yeah,
since then. Like, I had not been paying attention at all.
yeah, that's that how it be.
Okay, now I have a question. When you get into the car, like, what's the first thing you gonna turn on? If you about to get in, if you go walk to the car right now, what you turn it on? And then do you stop and change the music if it's not hitting right when you're driving? Like, we need
It
all.
depends on what type of mood I am. Honestly, it depends on what type of mood I feel like most times I'm in like a
Depend
chill
what he about
mood.
to do or what he just did.
Yeah. Okay, most of the
Well,
time,
we want the tea. What are you doing? We want the tea.
hey, most of the time I be in like if I'm in a chill mood, I might throw on some so really like I'm not really gonna vary from the artist, but I got certain songs from certain artists, you know what I'm saying? Like for Thug, for example, right? I got like my Thug hype songs, I got my Thug slow songs, my Thug sad songs, you know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
like, I got all categories for them joints.
I'm like that with Drake. I got all different playlists with his different type of songs.
Yeah, right. But I would say if I was gonna hop in the car right now, I would probably play Outro by Rilo Rodriguez. It's like a slow joint.
All right,
I like
but
it. I think it's hard.
I definitely need to peep him. I've never heard him before.
Bro, you sleep, bro. You gotta check bro out. He next up.
Okay, I have a semi different question. What part of, because you said John, you said Young Bull. So I went to Lincoln, and so we had a lot of people from Jersey, Pennsylvania, Philly, all that. So what part of where are you actually from?
So I'm from Jersey. I'm from Burlington County, New Jersey. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's in South Jersey.
I
So
know where's that.
yeah,
Okay.
so we like 30 minutes from Philly.
Yeah, I just heard the words. I was just like, where this nigga from? John.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got a different
And you've been in Florida. They got a different type of slang there too. So you probably got a little bit of both.
bro, no funny though, like Florida lingo never caught on with me. Like I just always spoke like the same way, like
Yeah,
New Jersey way. Like
true.
I never say jit or you know what I'm saying? I
That
never
was the first time I didn't even know what that word was, and
I
someone said
never
it to
heard you
me
say
like three
bit
years
either.
ago.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't be I don't know, it
I
just don't
say
catch
jit
on with
yeah,
me.
real quick.
But yeah, the OG up north, you know what I'm saying? I'm always be up northeast head. You know?
For sure. So you study cybersecurity and management information systems. So you talked a little bit about that already, but how much do you think that's helped you like during the Breezeshare process, like whether it's when you were first starting the company versus like now on what you're working on, if at all?
I would say it has helped a lot because one is all technology oriented. So we're working on a tech company, and now especially with a lot of things being in the cloud, Breezeshare is all in the cloud. Um, I was first introduced to the cloud through school through cybersecurity,
Yeah.
and we learned about different types of clouds and different types of cloud providers and essentially how to protect your data in the cloud because traditionally businesses they have servers like huge computers on like their actual physical campus and they would like physically protect that that server like they could have it in a cage and they'll logically protect it as well with
Mm.
passwords and all that different type of hardening stuff but
Um,
now a lot of companies are just all cloud based. You feel me? So like we are saving on physical infrastructure. Like we don't need that. We don't need to worry about availability of our network because it is being handled by Amazon. Well, we do have to worry about the security of it, but it's like being introduced to that through school and knowing like what would allow us to be able to get going without having a lot of money. It helped a lot knowing about Amazon Web Services and the different stuff that they offer. Because I was as soon as we with Breezeshare started, I'm like, all right, yeah, AWS it is, like because, for example, when Facebook started, Mark Zuckerberg needed to invest in the actual server. So he needed to get a physical server and
Yeah.
put his data there and host Facebook out of there. And that was a initial cost for him. Whereas nowadays with the cloud, I could literally just create an Amazon account and I could spin up 1,000 servers in 2 minutes and have 1,000 Breezeshare instances going, and I don't have to leave my house or purchase anything besides,
Yeah.
and you pay for what you use. So, it's great. And basically I learned all that through school. And I think it'll help me in the future as far as like the mindset that we have, just as far as like, being secure as a company and doing certain stuff with our data. Since I'm a security professional, I'm always going to have that security in mind. Whereas other companies or other businesses is more about just availability. And availability is just making sure that the data is accessible to the people who need it. So that might look as not having a password or look at anybody getting in the server, because we just want to focus on the availability of the data. We just want to make sure that people can access it, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas, us, we know that we're going to be protecting, we're going to have people's data. When we get major artists on Breezeshare, we're going to need to protect their information if they want to record a song and host it on Breezeshare, and some hackers go and Breezeshare and steal their songs, it's about to be done up for us. You feel me? So
Yeah,
that's a,
facts.
that's a major thing that we need to have,
hmm
is making these people feel confident that they can, trust us with their data. Because a Drake song is can be worth millions of dollars. Like if I got one leaked Drake song, that could be worth a lot of money or cause people a lot of,
Yeah,
lawsuits, whatever. So we got to make sure that we are secure with our customers' data so we don't have issues like that.
absolutely. You're obviously very like forward thinking and knowledgeable about the cloud and all that stuff. How long, like how many years do you think till like these physical servers that you mentioned like are going to be like completely obsolete? Because right now it just seems like automatic. Like if you're starting a company, you're not going to build a server. Like you're just going to have your stuff on the cloud. How long do you think like all like the major companies will be confident enough to do that on the cloud, knowing how fast the internet moves in general?
Well, so it depends. I don't think I think majority of companies like us are going to be starting up doing in the cloud.
Mhm.
But I feel like the major huge companies that have been around, or companies that have the resources to host their own information, I feel like that they probably will,
Mhm.
because when you are a cloud-based company, you're putting all your faith and the whole existence of your company in the cloud provider.
Yeah.
Like for instance, Amazon Web Services, which we're using, and many other companies like Netflix is hosted completely on Amazon Web Services. If Amazon goes down, Netflix is going down, Breezeshare is going down,
Okay.
everybody's going down. You feel me? So that's the thing. That's where the risk comes into it. So I definitely feel like majority of the companies will continue to use cloud only and take the risk, you know. But I feel like larger companies that have been around for a long time will probably use more of a hybrid model where they have some of their stuff in the cloud and some on-premise servers. But you never know. In the future, we might have on-premise stuff as well. It
Yeah.
depends on the amount of data we're processing and the value of the data, and just if that's convenient to do. Like, if the world never goes back to normal and we're all doing this, I don't think we'll ever have any physical servers, because
Yeah.
we will just have to get an office just to put a server in there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fact. I mean, you think about how fast the internet grows. Like no one knew about the internet for like I don't know however many years the Earth been here. Then like the past 20 years, past 15 even really, like everything has started to become on the internet. Like you can't have a job without like having access to the internet now. So it's just crazy how fast like it has taken over, literally taken over the world.
And
But
it's going to continue to take over. The
yeah,
internet, probably one of the most important resources we have,
yeah,
and it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. I guess we were groomed to be reliant on the internet. and instant connectivity and
Yeah.
communication. Whereas now, if you didn't have instant communication, people would go crazy.
Yeah, and even the people like 5 or 10 years younger than us, like we've seen sort of both. Like we grew up like playing outside and all this other stuff. Like the internet wasn't everything, so we're sort of like the last of our breed, I guess you could say, in that
Thanks, bro.
term.
But man, I do like in retrospect, I kind of wish I was locked in when I was a young boy, not going outside and on the internet. I probably would have been on already. I probably,
Dude, you
saying,
have hella computer
one,
talents,
two, three,
bro.
in one night. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would have been good. You know, he's been some computer geniuses. Everybody would have been straight. You know,
Yeah,
locked in.
yeah. But then if everyone a genius, then ain't no one a genius.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but that's a
Okay, so I have a question. So if you could have it your way, like where would Breezeshare be in like the next 5 years, like tech wise, if you can tell us?
Oh yeah, of course. So in the next 5 years, if you know, if everything were to go perfect,
Not
I
if, when, speaking to
yeah,
existence, when.
so I would like it so Breezeshare can be essentially the go-to platform for online real-time music collaboration. So I want it to be that, you know, an engineer, a producer, an artist, etc., can hop in a Breezeshare session and they can essentially collaborate in real time. And when I say real time, I mean real time. Like if I'm playing the guitar, as soon as I hit that note, like the note you hear in that note, as soon as I hit it, like minimum latency, where real time enough so that we can do things simultaneously. Whereas if I could play the drums and you could play the guitar, or you could sing, or I could hop on FL Studio and you know do a little bass line, and I'm creating the bass line at the same time as you doing the melody, and everything sounds good. You know, everything sounds cool in the session. The audio is crisp and clear, and yeah, I would like it so that people can really do that, and essentially Breezeshare be as big as like you know Facebook, Twitter, like you know being one of the top social sites. But even though we're having you know that music focus, I would want to be as popular as those kind of sites because if we can create a way for non-music creators to be able to interact with Breezeshare by like viewing stuff of like their favorite artists or you know content being created from you know different type of Breezeshare users, um, people will be able to be sucked in even if they aren't a music creator. And the thing is with a lot of these social sites is the users will make the site what it is. So even though we are want Breezeshare to be a music collaboration site, there might be like a whole subsection of Breezeshare that is doing something completely different, but they're utilizing the site, you know? So that's what I want to, you know, to see in the future for us to be able to get to the level where our users are doing what they want with our platform, but they're still, you know, they're tied in with us. They got their communities, you know,